And if you have any questions, I can't. Oh, yes, I will definitely send out the recording. It's going to come out with a newsletter. I don't know if it'll be tonight, more likely probably tomorrow, that will have this and some other, basically these tips in text form for those that don't like to watch a video. So that you'll get all of this probably tomorrow, I'm going to say. I'm going to probably not do it tonight. I don't know what my family has planned for tonight. Okay. All right. So the end of semester is quickly approaching. You've almost made it halfway through the school year, which is exciting, but it also brings just a little bit of work as we transfer everything from first semester to second semester courses. So your second semester courses, you're going to get all new. In fact, you probably already see them in Canvas and have since the beginning of the school year. They're there for you as a teacher. Students cannot see any of their second semester courses yet. But let's first talk about kind of wrapping up first semester, and then we'll talk about then moving into second semester and what that will look like for you. So the first thing I would do, let's see, I'm going to share my screen. The first thing I would do is your courses always archive. Like they're not going anywhere. They're there for you to see for future. Like if you go back and if you've been here for a while, you know that you can see it. Click clear back to 2016. I think some teachers can see their courses. However, I just always like to make an extra backup just to be sure. And also just so that, you know, if the Canvas servers crash or something like that, I've got it. So I have my AMP course here, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to actually have to go to settings. And I'm going to click this share to Commons. And what that is, I'm not actually sharing it with anyone. So even though it's going to Commons, it's not out there for the world unless I say that it's there for the world. This is just kind of like the cloud of Canvas that allows me to store stuff here for later. So this is like I've got my first semester course all set up exactly the way that I want it. I don't anticipate any major template changes for next year, so that won't be an issue either. But I'm going to come and I'm going to select that only I can access this because no one else needs it. And then I don't have to select here, but I could select it as a template if I wanted to. I'm going to give it a name just so that I remember that this is my first semester course. So AMP first semester. So from now on, I know that in my Commons, I have a course for my first semester AMP course. And then I just usually here put the same thing, because I don't need a description for myself of what it is. I also don't need tags to search it. When I do, it does require you to do an image. So when I click that image, I usually just very first, like I'll type in, oh, if I can spell. English teachers, don't judge me. I'm just going to choose an apple. It doesn't really matter to me. No one else is going to see this. I also don't mess with the grades because this is just for me. And I click that share. And what that does is it moves everything in its entirety, except for the students and the student work, of course, moves it up to the Canvas Cloud or Commons. And now next year, when it's first semester, all I have to do is click this import download button and it'll bring everything in to my first semester courses next year. So that will save me a ton of time next fall. All right. These courses will be, your first semester courses are accessible to you until January 5th at 11:59, at which time they archive. They're still in your account.
Just students, Lillian Miller.
You'll probably still see them, but you won't be able to do anything with them, okay? Students will have access to first semester courses until January 3rd at 11:59. That's to allow time for finals, makeups, and such per the request of administration, but you have the autonomy to choose to shut your assignments down before that or unpublish them, okay? So first semester shuts down in January 3rd for students, and then their second semester courses will pop up on January 4th at like 12:01 a.m. or something. So they'll definitely be there when they walk in your door that Tuesday morning. And so now that we've backed up first semester, we kind of have to start thinking about how do I start getting my second semester courses ready, because our kids are used to our Canvas courses and they can be up and going. And if you think back to August, that was a lot of work in getting that stuff set up, but you don't have to go through and set all that up again. Okay. Some teachers cross list their second semester into their first semester. I don't recommend that. Because of grading and grade books and syncing to Canvas and all of that. I also personally don't like to see all of my first semester stuff. right? I don't want them working in first semester anymore. We're on to second semester. Now, sometimes we have some units or some resources that overlap, and we can pick and choose which of those resources we want to bring into second semester without importing that entire course and all of those first semester assignments. So I've got my first semester AMP up here. Down here at the bottom in your unpublished courses, you should see all of your second semester courses. If you don't, just click courses here over on the left. And then you might have to come all the way to the bottom and select all courses. And then up at the top, you have your published courses. And then there should be a line for these are where your old courses will show up. So that you can see all my past ones. And then you can also see over here, it'll tell you these are my semester 2 classes. The star means that they're showing on my dashboard. So I'm just checking now to make sure that none of these without stars are my semester 2 courses. And I don't think that they are. I think all my semester 2 have the star. And the semester 2 also shows as grade because that time hasn't come yet for that to be published. Okay, so I'm going to go into one of my AMP courses. And my first thing to do is going to be, if you're a cross-lister, I would recommend cross-listing first before you start importing any content. So if you remember to cross-list, I'm in my parent course or my main AMP course that I want to work with. And I'm going to come up to that top URL bar and I'm going to get that 5-digit number. Okay, so all I have to do is right-click and copy just those 5 numbers. Okay, so that is our parent code, and we're going to take that code to all of our other courses. So then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Sometimes it helps it to look at courses too. This is sometimes easier for me because then I can see it in list mode. I know that I started with the top one. That's my parent course. So then I'm going to go to my second one. I'm going to click into that, and I'm going to bring that parent code in. So I'm going to go to settings. And I'm going to go to sections. And this is the tricky part because we're not adding a new section. We're actually working with this section right here. So I'm going to click on the section I want to work with. And then I'm going to select cross-list section over here on the right. When I do that, it says enter the course ID. And I'm just going to paste that number in there. Then click anywhere in this white box. There it is. And I'm going to cross-list. And so what it did is it moved to that second course inside of or into my first course. So now if I go back to all courses, this is kind of a tedious process. That other P1 is now sitting inside of here. Okay, so then I would do that same step for my next course and my next one and my next one. Okay, once all of them are cross-listed, you will see them. I go to settings and I go to sections. This is my parent course. There's the 2 sections that I cross-listed together. These numbers mean nothing to me. We go by P1, G1, right? So if you click on your section, you can click edit section. And I know that this is my P1 class. And I can rename that section. It doesn't affect anything to do with SIS or Canvas or anything like that. This is purely for my reference so that when I'm assigning things or looking at my grade book, it's so much easier to look at it by that than to try to remember which one was which. All right, so that's cross-listing. Now that I've cross-listed, I can now start bringing in content because if you notice, when I go home, there's nothing there. Your second semester courses are brand new courses, but you've already done a lot of that setup work in your first semester course that you want to bring over. So I'm going to do this import existing content because I already have the content. I don't need to recreate it. So I'm going to come up here to content type, and I am copying a Canvas course. I'm just not going to copy the entire course. So if I search for AMP, I don't know if it'll bring it up because mine brings up literally every course in the whole district. So it's helpful if you go to the course you're wanting to pull from and grab that code up there. So I'm in my first semester course. I'm grabbing that code to take into my second semester course to pull the content. So, and AMP. Even if you decide to, I saw that publish button while I'm loading things here. Even if you decide to publish Kids can't see it yet. They won't see anything until January 4th. So even if you published your second semester course, they won't see it. All right, now I can do copy a Canvas course, and I'm going to search for my course by number this time. Oh, there it is. Okay, and here's where I'm choosing. I don't want all of that because I don't want all of my first semester assignments. I just want specific things like my homepage that I spent time building, right? Or other resources pages that I want them to access this second semester. I don't want to adjust events and due dates because I'm not pulling over any of my assignments. So I'm going to select import. And then it's asking me which content do I want. So I'm going to click select content. And I'm going to choose what I want. So I do want my course settings because then that ensures that all the settings are the same from first semester to second semester. And then some teachers have like a teacher module or a start here or like a welcome to class module that you might want to include. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is just actually our how to work your Canvas template, but we'll pretend that that's my syllabus module. Then I'm looking at assignments and I know that I don't want any of these assignments, right? These are all first semester assignments. So I'm not going to check anything there. When I look at quizzes, I know I don't need any of my quizzes or my discussion topics from session 1. Now my pages I do need. So I don't need the teacher's start here, right? That's just for me. But I am going to click the class resources, TBHS home. If you're in NGC, it probably says NGC home, hopefully. And my course information page because I still want them to have access to that. Okay. If you bring over announcements, like these are from each week this semester. I don't have any generic announcements, but if you did have like an all about me announcement, you might want to bring that one over so that they have it, easy access. If you have any rubrics, and then if you have any specific files, so like if you have uploaded like a syllabus or something like that that is linked. And in fact, I actually usually just check my files to come over because the kids can't access my files unless I put them into a module. Then I make sure that all my images are pulled over and all of my documents that are linked to my resource page are pulled over and all of that. So I pull all of my files and I'm going to select content. And it queues it, and hopefully I don't have too much in there, and hopefully it'll go pretty fast. So it queues it, then it says running, and it should say done here in just a second. Done. Now when I click on my home page, because I copied over all of my settings and everything, it's beautiful. It looks just like my first semester. The kids won't even notice that we actually switched courses, other than when they click modules, there's nothing there for them, right? It's nice and clean. And now I can start my new semester fresh. Now, if I remember something later, like, oh, I forgot I need module 1 on how to cite sources and I don't want to rebuild that. You can go back to your settings and you can go back to import course content and you can do those same steps that we just did and just import that one module or that one assignment that you need them to find, rather than importing the entire course and having to sift through and unpublish and republish things. And then other than that, you should be ready to go for second semester and your Canvas course. What questions?